Good morning and welcome to the second part of the Atelior Basic Training Bootcamp for the 2020 Colorado Seatbelt Survey. In the first part, we looked at the overview of this study and the basics of performing a seatbelt survey. In the second part, we will be giving you step-by-step guidance to creating your schedule for pre-mobilization and for statewide surveys week 1 and week 2. Once you've created your schedule and submitted it in your online form, Todd will input that into your T-Sheets software, which is a useful tool to track your time and guide you through your assignments for each day. T-Sheets is covered in a separate video tutorial. In early April, observers will receive emails that look something like this. You'll receive an attached spreadsheet listing all of your site assignments, and you'll receive links to an online calendar where you will submit your schedule. Finally, you will receive several emails, each with a link to county maps showing GPS locations for each of your survey sites. The site assignment spreadsheet is a document. When you open it, you will find a full listing of all of your assignments throughout the survey. If you have assignments in more than one county, you can scroll down to view further. Across the bottom, you'll see multiple tabs. These are listed as consolidated, which will give you your full list of sites. Pre-mobilization, which will show only those that you'll be performing May 3rd through 9th. Week 1 of the statewide, which will give you your sites for the time period of June 14th through 20th, and a tab labeled Week 2, which is the final week of statewide from June 21st through June 27th. Assigned sites are color-coded by period. You'll see pre-mobilization sites color-coded in yellow, statewide week 1 in orange, and statewide week 2 will be coded blue. The second piece of information you'll need as you're putting together your schedules are these maps. You will receive an individual email with a link to an interactive map for each county and each survey period, pre-mobilization, statewide week 1, and statewide week 2. The map shows you a pin for each site. You can click the pin or scroll down to find information about that site ID that it represents. As you see here, a pin labeled A. As you scroll down, you can either click the pin or see in this area that it represents site ID 100. Some of the counties have fewer site IDs. The smaller counties typically have only 11 sites that you will be observing, and larger counties will have 44. Those larger counties will split their statewide observations 22 in week 1 and 22 in week 2. However, the smaller counties with only 11, the entirety will be in either week 1 or week 2. These smaller counties also may or may not have sites that will be collected and surveyed during the pre-mobilization. The larger counties all will have pre-mobilization sites, ranging from 11 to 15 sites to be collected. These site maps are interactive. They allow you to drag the map, to zoom in and to zoom out. The third and final piece to this puzzle is your online schedule that you will receive a link to. And it looks somewhat like a calendar, and there is one set for each of the 3 survey periods: pre-mobilization, statewide week 1, and statewide week 2. Here, you see the pre-mobilization calendar for early May, the 3rd through the 9th. It is stored in the cloud, and you simply need to type your county and site ID into the date time box for your planned time that you will be performing the survey. We see here a series of sample IDs for Adams County. As you enter sites into these boxes, it is automatically saved to an online file where Todd will view and insert your assignments into T-sheets. You will need to insert your pre-mobilization calendars by the end of April and your statewide calendars by June 7th. Now we're going to perform a live demonstration of how you might do this. We're looking at an email here that is going to be almost identical to what you receive in the mail. That includes a full listing of the sites, a link to the schedule, and we will also see the pre-mobilization for Pueblo County that will be performed by Mike Hargrove. When we select the link for the pre-mobilization, it's opened into one of those interactive maps. Where you can see a pin for each of the 5 site IDs that he will be performing during the pre-mobilization period. You'll typically start out with working on paper in something like this, where you hand write out each day of the week and identify what days that you're available. In this case, I'm marking that I'm available on Sunday from 1 to 5, on Monday from 8 to 5, Tuesday I can't work, Thursday I can't work, and Saturday I can't work. So as I group these, I can see where they may fit in. I look for natural groupings geographically, where I see A and B, sites A and B, which refer to site numbers 672 and 679 are both here close to Colorado City. So if I have a shorter time period where I can only do a few, including my drive time to and from my home, I see this is probably natural choice for my Sunday afternoon. From 1 to 5, I could probably get 3 done. So I'm going to mark those in here by hand as I'm trying to determine which sites I will group together. And then I see that C, D, and E. You can notice if I zoom in by double clicking, that this one that was hidden is in fact site letter E. Well, I want to put these in the order that I will do them, and I can see that in this case I would probably be coming from home in Pueblo towards site D first, then I'll probably perform E and then C. So as I mark my notes to myself for these Monday collections, that I will probably do D, then E, and then C. So I will mark this as Pueblo, D is corresponding to 683. E is 702. And C is Pueblo 682. Well, once I've done that, now I'm prepared for my pre-mobilization calendar specifically for Pueblo. I've left these other two dates and the afternoon on Monday to do other counties if I have additional sites. So I'm coming in here now to that site. Each of these is overwritable and they're only there as samples. So do overwrite those with your sites. Starting on Sunday, I have not identified anything from 8 until noon, so I will delete each of those. But at 1 o'clock, I'm starting for Pueblo site 672. I will simply type that in. And site 679 to follow that. Then Monday, I'm marking myself starting at 8 a.m. with my first site, which is Pueblo County, site 683. I'll continue and add each of those three sites, 702 and 682, in that order. This will help us because as we put it into the T-Sheets program, you will have those in order and it will be able to guide you as long as you have cell coverage to each of those sites using Google Maps. Now I have these other days available because I know that Mike has other counties that will include some pre-mobilization. And according to the schedule of my availability, I see that I'll be available in the later part of Monday, the first half of Wednesday, and the second half of Friday. So I'll try to fit each of those in there. Again, we want you to get the pre-mobilization in as soon as you can and give yourself a little bit of time, early June, to submit your statewide weeks 1 and week 2. You'll see some basic instructions here also on the side to remind you what to do. So far we identified which days that we can work. We identified how many sites or what time periods we can do on those days. We viewed in batch geo the link for the Pueblo County pre-mobilization. We grouped our sites geographically, and then we ordered the sites to minimize driving. And then we plugged those in to the appropriate site with the appropriate site IDs into the days that we're planning to complete those surveys. The final thing that you're going to do is to notify me that you've completed this online. As you notice, I never saved. It is automatically saved every time I make an entry. The only thing you need to do is plug these in and it's automatically saved to the cloud where I will be able to view it online. So we've completed the demonstration and we're going to review again one more time the basics of site scheduling. First, we identify, well, this didn't get saved. So here we'll simply review the basic step-by-step guide for scheduling your site surveys. First, you'll identify the days and times that you can work and determine how many sites or what time period during those days that you can perform surveys. Third, you will review the links to the maps sent via email. Within those maps, you can visually identify geographic groupings. Then you'll order the survey sites in that grouping to minimize your driving. Step 6, you'll determine which groupings fit best into your available schedule and at which times and dates. Then you'll type those in to your online calendar appropriately, identifying each with the county name and the site ID. Finally, you will notify Todd that you've completed your schedule to those automatically saved to the cloud scheduling tool. If you haven't done this before and feel overwhelmed, know that there's assistance always available, either by your supervisor who has done this many times for himself or herself, or Richard or Todd. Any of us can help you step through the process of scheduling your surveys for pre-mobilization and the 2 statewide periods, week 1 and week 2. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we'll assist you through this. Thank you for joining today, and we look forward to sharing more information with you in other videos.